Christian Men's Illustrated, the podcast. It's Jeremiah Johnson. Well, I don't know if this makes me less manly, but I just got done watching, while I was working out, mind you, the Melania Trump Amazon Prime documentary. So Christian Men's Illustrated, the podcast. We talk about stuff guys love. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you would. That would be great. But I ran home and in my garage, got on the bike, started spinning, working out a little bit, trying to get back into it as the summer is now summer coming here, at least in Southwest Missouri. Hopefully the weather's nice where you're at, but decided like, what can I watch? So I pull up the Amazon Prime, boom, there it is, the Melania Trump. And here's some takeaways that I had from it. And then when I'm watching these things, I'm like, what's the spiritual takeaways that I can get from it? But first things first, okay? And I'm going to be as uplifting and positive as possible. And number one, when you watch it, Melania Trump is definitely what I think an authentic, beautiful, wonderful person. Like you really feel that and maybe it's just the cute little accent that she has. I love this country. It is very good to me. My husband is the president. He's very nice. So she has a cool accent that I think is very welcoming, inviting. And so she seems real. She really does, and I appreciate that. And I think they tried to show that in the video, but dude, she is, she was a model. So she's super buttoned up. She looks perfect all the time. So I would have recommended, let's try to make her look more real, like show her without her makeup on or something like that. But she's definitely always super dialed in from the physical appearance standpoint. And they showed that, pretty much the whole time. So I think she's, a real person, but the problem is, she's so rich that it's hard to connect with her. They're showing her in Trump Tower and Mar-a-Lago. And this is just, dude, I'm watching this while I'm working out in my garage on a bike. So it's really hard to relate to it. But what's interesting is what you have to appreciate also from a skill set and a talent. It's not like she's just a beautiful person. She's a great designer. Like she wants things dialed in, and the first lady's job is to oversee the White House, really. And so from design of decor and clothing and buildings, she's very skilled. And I appreciated that from the video. One thing that I'd say is kind of like maybe a negative, and maybe it's not really her whole life, just what they're showing, but it definitely seems like she seems like a lonely person, at least in the videos. It just was the servants and the people, but didn't show her interacting with like a lot of friends. Doesn't seem like she hangs out with President Trump that much, obviously because he's the president, he's going here and there. Now keep in mind, this documentary covers 20 days before the inauguration. So that's what it was pretty much showing. So shout out to Melania. Seems like a real, authentic, beautiful, wonderful, nice person, caring, all those kind of things. It seems like, from what I'm just watched, she's a very skilled designer. So with that in mind, she's a lonely person. She's very, very rich, and Trump Tower is just gaudy over the top, as well as Mar-a-Lago. Just even if I had money like that, I would not design my mansion. I wouldn't live in that type of setting. It's just gold. It does, I don't like those type of places that are so fancy. Like, it doesn't feel like you could even sit on that couch. It doesn't even like you don't even want to touch anything in the room. It's so gold and fancy, as a lot of what they're showing in the video. But here's what I want to say from the spiritual note that I took away is, she loves design and all these kinds of, see her working with the designers of the ball and invitations and design and fashion and all these kind of things. And to Donald Trump, who's a builder, designer himself, as well as Melania, there's no better person you could connect with the one true God who created the heavens and the earth, and his son, Jesus Christ, because he is the greatest designer ever. I encourage you, Melania, and I encourage you, President Trump, and I encourage all of you that love design. Why don't you go to Genesis chapter 1 and you will read a God who is the most amazing designer. When you wake up in the morning, like this morning as I watched the sun rise and all of the varying color palettes that are changing as the sun is rising, that is God, and he's an amazing designer. And so I want to encourage us as followers of Jesus Christ. Our God is so awesome. Like, he is such an amazing designer. He's made the heavens and the earth. And so as I saw this woman, First Lady Melania Trump, I was like, man, you should connect with Jesus. You would love him. Like, you would love God because he's such an amazing designer. And that's what we have to understand today is our God is a designer. He creates things, and he wants to create beautiful things in our lives as well. And the second spiritual takeaway is that I'm so grateful that we have a God and a Savior named Jesus who comes close to us. You know what, man? I don't like that fame and fortune life. Like, it doesn't, the more people I see in examples of this, the more it just doesn't seem super attractive, because it shows her, like, she's got to have the moment she leaves Mar-a-Lago to go into the private airplane. There's 5 people taking her there, multiple cars, then getting out. And then there's all the people in the jet that are trying to take care of her. And then, from the jet landing in New York to Trump Tower. And like, a person like that, you can never get close to. Okay. And even in the documentary where they tried to, I think, show the realness and, just show her humanness as a person. It's just like those type of people, like, man, I don't know that you'd ever be able to get close to that person. But what's amazing is that the true creator, the one true designer, God, he designed relationship with us in such a way that we can come close to him every single day, right? There's not a plethora of people standing between us and God today, but we can come close to him. And I just began to just look at that from a scriptural standpoint. And I'll pull this up on my laptop. I pulled up some scriptures there that had, just Google search here, James chapter 4, verse 8 says, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and pure hearts, your hearts, you double-minded. Psalm 145, verse 18, the Lord is near to all who call on him in truth. And so listen, I'm not a rich man and I'm not a poor man, but I'm not going to ever purchase a super fancy house in Trump Tower, et cetera, those kind of things. But the one thing I am so grateful for as a follower of Jesus Christ is that God, we're getting ready to celebrate Easter, and we celebrate God came near to us. He came close to us through his son, Jesus Christ. Jesus wasn't this big famous preacher who stood at a distance from people. He welcomed people to touch him, and he prayed for people, and he laid hands on people. And even today, that's not just, I'm not picking on Melania Trump. I'm not, but there's popular preachers today. I joke with this every once in a while in my local church where I'm a pastor. It's like, man, I hope I can be one of those pastors one day that, like, people can never talk to me or get close to me. And I sincerely joke when I'm doing that. And I'm really just kidding. But there's pastors like that. There's a couple that I know personally that they were at a church, and their job was to, like, kind of be the buffer between people and him. So, they couldn't really ever talk to him because they were the buffer, like guarding the people from him. And I just don't like that, man. And today, as spiritual people, as Christians and followers of Christ, I'm grateful. It's like, man, we can come close to God and we can draw near to him. And that's what I take stock in today, is that I serve a God who comes close. I serve a God who's not in some lofty tower far away. I don't serve a God who I could never get close to because there's security people and intel people. But there's a God who says, Jeremiah, and it says to us men and women and followers of Christ, I am right here today if you want to connect with me. And that is amazing. And so I encourage you today, Melania Trump, that's a review on the documentary. You can go watch it. You'll get a little better idea who she is, and, if you're killing some time on the bike like I was. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time.